Hey, I'm Bill. There are lots of pen making videos on YouTube, lots and lots of them. There's a gentleman named Zach Higgins that I've watched. He actually would take stuff, junk as he calls it, and he'll dunk it in resin. So I was just walking on the beach here in Galveston, Texas. I'm at the San Luis Hotel for a conference. And as I was walking around, I noticed that there was a lot of, well, driftwood, if you will, on the beach. And I thought, well, maybe I'll try it. So I picked up several pieces of driftwood. I figured I could take these and cast them in some Alumilite resin and add some dye to it and make some pen blanks. So I'm going to do that. So I'm back at my house now after the conference, and the wood that I showed you earlier has been in the oven now for about 30 minutes at about 350 degrees. I weighed it before I put it in there and it was 139 grams. So if there was moisture in it, when I take it out and weigh it, it should weigh less than 139 grams. So let's see. Yeah, so it went down to 124 grams. So we'll put it back in the oven and see how much more weight it loses. So it's been about 30 more minutes and we are at 123 grams. So we've lost 1 gram. So I'll put it in there for just another minute or so. So I took all the wood out of the oven once it had dried. The weight ended up being about 121, 120 grams repeatedly, which tells me that it's dry. So what I'm gonna do now is put it in this vacuum chamber and suck all of the air out of it and fill it with Cactus Juice Resin. Okay, as you can see, I filled it with Curtis's Cactus Juice Resin, and this is a vacuum chamber that I got from Curtis over at Turntex. Alrighty, let's turn on the vacuum pump, close the valve, watch all the air start to come out of this wood. I got the valve all the way closed and you can see the air coming up. I have to let that off every now and then so air doesn't, or so the fluid doesn't get into my vacuum pump. Alright, well we'll let this run for well, I don't know how long. It may take a long time with all the bubbles coming out, but come back whenever it's done. As you can see, there's still a few bubbles coming out. Maybe a couple more hours and then I'll turn it off. And then I'll let the resin, release the vacuum and let the resin soak in overnight. Sat in the cactus juice overnight with the vacuum off of it so it could absorb the cactus juice. So now I've placed it in the oven where it will sit at about, I have 2 thermometers just in case, where it'll sit at about 200 degrees for the next several hours. And then we'll pull it out and see what it looks like. So the wood has been in there for since 10 o'clock this morning and it's about 6:30 now, so 8.5 hours or so. That's it. It's cooling down, so it's about 150, but I kept it in there at 200 degrees. So here's what I did. I left the natural edges of the driftwood as I found it, as is. I cut off the backs and they're sitting up flush up against, well, they will sit up flush against my mold. And then in the middle, those will sit flush against each other as well. And the reason why is that mark right there indicates how long a Sierra pen tube is. And I want wood at the top and the bottom of the pen, and I want the resin basically to sit in the middle. So if that's the pen, I want wood on one end, wood on the other, and then the resin in the middle. So this should make more sense now. What I did was I glued the ends of the driftwood to this piece of construction paper. So all I have to do when I pour the resin, the base layer of resin in there, and then lay these on top like this. Take this one that I've glued the wood to both sides, drop it in there, and accordingly I've got another one right here, the third one. I'll drop it in there. All right, it's time to do the driftwood. So I've got the mold here. I've got this piece hot glued to the sides. This piece here I will drop in after I put in a little bit of resin to get us going. And then I've got a couple of extra molds here, just in case I mix too much resin, I can pour it in here. I've got the lids off my powders off, the lid off my dye off. I've got several cups set up. My stir sticks are easy to grab. I've also brought in my pressure pot and the air hose so that I don't have to go outside in the heat, because basically if it's hot outside, the resin will set up faster. I am using Alumilite Slow, so I've got a little bit more working time, which I probably won't need with this project, but I like to use the Slow. The molds are warmed up to about 125 degrees, and I have I've sprayed Stoner mold release in there. So now what I'm going to do is weigh it out and get going pouring the resin in the mold. Check back on it in about 4 hours or so. So I pulled these out of the pressure pot this morning, and this is what we got. So we will demold these and cut these into some blanks and see what they look like. Cut them right there in half. So I can't help myself. I want to, even though I need to go to work, I'm going to drill one of these out right now. So I'm going to turn a Sierra Vista, and on the Vista, the top end is a little bit bigger in diameter than the bottom of the pen, so I want this to be at the top. So I've put the bigger bushing right here. I mean, it's only slightly bigger, but the bigger bushing here and the smaller bushing here. And I'm gonna turn this and see what it looks like. Shining shoes. Yeah, that is that's gonna be gorgeous. So that's my dog. This is the pen. That's I went with the chrome and black instead of the gold and black. I tried the gold and I didn't like it. Yeah, that's gorgeous. So some driftwood and some resin. Not too shabby.